suffering. Let's go to Congressman Benny Thompson of Mississippi, and he's the chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee. He is joining me by phone. Congressman, I wonder what you make of the fact that the President of the United States mentioned rape and crime and drugs in speaking of the migrants who are desperately trying to seek asylum in the United States. He mentioned those things repeatedly, but nothing about the federal workers, to include TSA workers, air traffic controllers, people responsible for the national security of the United States, to say nothing of his own Secret Service.
Well, it was unfortunate, Joy. As you know, the president is notorious for using that kind of language when he's referring to immigrants. More importantly, for a lot of us, he said nothing about the 800,000 federal employees who are, at this point, without a paycheck. And it appears that he does not care. So today was a messaging effort, messaging stunt, and nothing more. So it's unfortunate. I wish the president, we have Democratic leadership. He can't pick the Democratic leadership to talk to. It's absolutely important that he recognize that the House of Representatives is now under Democratic control, and you can't decide who the message is or who the messenger will be. So he has to get over it, his temper tantrums. He has to control them, and let's get on with the business. And this notion of bipartisanship, I don't know where that came from, because he's notoriously absent in a bipartisan way.
And your leadership, the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, has already said this is dead on arrival. This proposal is not going anywhere. And just to reiterate and to correct one number here, $800 million in humanitarian assistance, again, not specifying to whom, $805 million in drug detection technology to secure ports of entry, 2,750 border agents and law enforcement professionals, and 75 new immigration judge teams. Those proposals are not new, terribly new. You are sitting on a Homeland Security Committee. What do you make of those proposals and your leadership stance that this is not happening?
Well, we have put the 75 judges out in the past. It hadn't gone anywhere. I'm happy to see that he understands that his position with the shutdown has increased the problem. This notion that somehow asylum seekers can do that in their own country, that's not real bright, because if I'm running from an area because of crime and persecution, it's obvious I'm going to have to get somewhere else. So President has to get his act together. We are perfectly willing to sit down and talk person to person, adult to adult, but just thinking he can hold a press conference on Saturday afternoon and somehow get Democrats to go along with him is a pipe dream. So I'm looking forward to work with him if he wants to, but he can't dictate all the terms. We are the legislative body. He's the executive. We are co-equal.
And, sir, before I let you go, as the Homeland Security Committee chairman, is there any evidence whatsoever that there is a crisis on the border of criminal gangs and rapists marauding their way into the United States?
That is unfortunate. When you look at the statistics, the numbers are actually down. They're going in the opposite direction. He keeps throwing out there. And, I'll quote a Republican who's on the Homeland Security Committee, Will Hurd. He says it's a myth. And he represents more border territory than any other member of Congress. So in this instance, I believe the Republican who serves on the Homeland Security Committee and lives it every day.
All right. Congressman Benny Thompson from Mississippi, the Homeland Security Committee chair. Thank you so much, sir, for